Okay, for 2.3, we're going to be dividing mixed numbers. And in this section, we're going to be bringing in a lot of what we've already been doing in this unit and in previous units, dividing fractions, working with mixed numbers, as well as order of operations using fractions. So let's go ahead and take a look at dividing mixed numbers as well as fractions. So when you have mixed numbers, it's always good to convert those to an improper fraction when you're multiplying or dividing. So remember, to do that, we do 3 times 3 plus 2. So the denominator times the whole number plus the numerator. So 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11. And then the denominator will stay the same. And then this second fraction here, remember what we want to do is we want to flip this, which is also known as the inverse, which is also known as the reciprocal. So if you've heard of reciprocal, that is the same thing as the inverse, so which is the same as just flipping it. So 1 over 3, we flip that, so it becomes 3 over 1. And then we change our division to multiplication. So now our math problem is set up for straight multiplication. 11 times 3, 3 times 1. And then remember, always turning improper fractions back into mixed numbers. That is the simplest form. So we always want to write it in simplest form. We never want to leave a fraction as an improper. So 3 goes into 33 11 times. Okay, so that's how you solve a division problem with a mixed number. So the same thing down here. 3 times 10 is 30, plus 2 is 32. Denominator stays the same. Change this to multiplication. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into an improper, and then we're going to flip it. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And then we leave the denominator the same. Okay, so now we're going to flip this, since I already changed it to multiplication. So 8 over 3 becomes 3 over 8. So I'll sort of scribble that out of the way. And now it's straight across multiplication. 32 times 3. So if you need to show your work, do it on the side. 32 times 3. 96. 3 times 8. 24. And then that's obviously an improper fraction, so we've got to turn this into a mixed number. So to do that, because these are big numbers, I would suggest doing some long division. So 96 divided by 24. Figure out how many times that goes into 96, and if you play around with some numbers, you find that it goes in 4 times. Okay, so the answer is going to be 4 there. Okay, so that is a second example. Now let's move on to, now we're going to do some order of operations, including mixed numbers and division. So down here, again, whenever we're operating or doing something mathematical, let's turn those mixed numbers into improper. So 2 times 1 plus 2 is 3 over 2, and then I'm just going to write everything else out. Let's go ahead and write it out. 7/8. Okay, so now I'm going to start working down, just because with order of operations that makes more sense to me. So 3 over 2 is going to stay 3 over 2. We're going to change this to multiplication and do the inverse of the second fraction, so flipping it. And then 7 over 8 stays the same. So now we have this new problem. Now with PEMDAS and order of operations, we know we need to do the multiplication first. Okay, so straight across, 3 times 6 is 18. 2 times 1 is 2. Then I'm going to bring the subtraction down, and I'm going to bring this fraction down. Now we have a subtraction problem. So we're not going to learn, we don't have a unit or a section on adding and subtracting fractions. So if this is something that you don't know, we can work one-on-one together, but we're assuming that you guys got this from 5th grade. So if you forgot or you need extra help, let me know, but we do not have our own section in Unit 2 on adding and subtracting fractions. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume everyone knows how to do it. So from here, I need to create 2 fractions with a common denominator, so I'm going to choose 8. My 7 is going to stay put. Subtraction is going to stay. And now I got from 2 to 8 by multiplying by 4. So now I'm going to multiply my numerator by 4. So I get 72 as my new numerator. So now I have subtraction, and I'm just going to go left to right on the numerator. 72 minus 7 will give me 65. And then if you know about subtracting, the denominator just stays the same. We don't subtract the denominator after we have a common denominator. So now we have an improper fraction. We're going to turn this into a mixed number because mixed number is the simplest form. So again, we're looking for the simplest form always in our final answer. So 8 goes into 65 8 times, which is 64. So that leaves me with 1 remaining, and I keep 8 the same as my denominator. Okay, I did that really fast because I've already made videos explaining that. So there's our answer for our question up here. So we have numerical expressions with mixed numbers and fractions, and our solution is there. So let's mix things up. I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and try this next problem below, and I'm going to pause this video and see which answer you get for that. So give that a shot. All right, taking a look at that problem there. Let's see if you got the correct answer. So we have 2 over 5 plus, I'm just going to throw this into an improper fraction real quick. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 4 is 14. Keep the denominator the same. And we have divided by 2. Okay, let's move this down. Let's go 2 over 5 plus 14 over 5, and then let's change this to multiplication. 2 over 1, so we flip that to 1 over 2. Order of operations tells me I need to do the multiplication first. So 14 times 1 is 14, 5 times 2 is 10. I'm going to bring down the rest. Now we have addition, which means I need a common denominator. I'm going to use 10. 5 to 10 is times 2, so it's 2 times 2 is going to be 4. So left to right, 4 plus 14 is 18. The 10 stays the same. Improper fraction needs to be converted to mixed number. 10 goes into 18 once, with 8 remaining. To simplify this, I'm going to divide each of these, the numerator and the denominator. I'm going to divide by 2, which means this will become 4 and this will become 5. So my final simplified answer is 1 4/5. Okay, I can't remember if I've talked about simplifying just regular fractions. I think I might have, but just real quick, what I did here was whenever we have a fraction that has a common multiple, so these have a common multiple of 3, I can divide by the common multiple in order to simplify that. All right, again, that shouldn't be anything new, but let me know if you need help with that, simplifying or adding and subtracting fractions if you didn't get that from 5th grade or you forgot about it. So there is 4 different problems on dividing mixed numbers and using order of operations to solve numerical operations with division and addition and subtraction. So hopefully that helped, and thanks for listening.